Hi, welcome to another video on preparing data for fieldwork. In this one, we'll be going through how to key in existing survey information that you may have acquired through some survey searching. To begin with, I want to have something to give me an idea of the relevance so that when I'm keying in my survey searching, I can make sure that I haven't made any mistakes or gross errors. So what I like to do is apply a cadastral map base parcel polygons. In this case, I've sourced some and I'm just going to drag and drop that in. Now that I have that in place, what I want to do next is key in the existing surveys that I've acquired through some survey searching. In this case, it's called an abstractive field record, but really applies to any pre-existing survey information that can't be acquired digitally, just to load in as something like a land XML file or similar. So what we want to do is key in all of this information so that I can go out in the field, try to find some of these marks and have them already referenced in relationship to the permanent marks that I've previously loaded from CSV. So we'll jump into that now. Under the Survey tab, you'll find Create COGO. This is an easy way to key in existing survey information. We give the COGO collection a name. In this case, I'm going to give it the name of the plan of subdivision that the survey information relates to. I'm also going to create a new layer so that I can easily switch that same information off and on without any problems. These aren't going to be for plotting, so I like to keep them nice and bright and visible. We want to automatically create lines, and we're going to create points at the vertices as well. For me, I like to name the points like this. I'm going to put the points that are created onto the same layer as well. I don't have any three-dimensional information for these points, so I'm just going to say that they're two-dimensional. Now, this survey information that I'm keying in all relates to distances as measured on the ground. We can see that they've used a combined scale factor when making comparisons between the coordinates of the permanent marks, and that gives us an idea of relevance when we're keying in our information too. So I'm going to say that the horizontal distances relate to ground. This value that's populating here already is based on the centroid of mass of the objects that are in here. If I was to delete, let's say this point, and hit calculate, we see that figure changes straight away. So I'll just undo that delete and calculate. So that's giving me the combined scale factor that relates a grid to the ground measurements in this vicinity, which happens to correlate exactly to what's been shown on the previous survey plan as well. If we did need to key in curved distances, we have a few ways of doing that. I don't need to key in any curves today, but I do have a rotation being applied. So the previous survey was just on an approximate true north datum with a relationship to the map grid datum. And in this case, the relationship was 7 degrees, 10 minutes and 38 seconds. So if I just key in that and hit tab, you'll note that it requires that information as 7:10:38 just by keying it in as 7.1038. There are some options for quicker usage of this if you're keying in a lot and you're familiar with it. I won't be using these today. So I'll click OK, and it jumps us to the next tab, which is our line commands for this COGO creation. What I first want to do is start point. And I'm going to be starting from this PM. Then I want to enter a new line. So I'm going to add a line by azimuth. And I can just key in exactly what's on my survey searching to start working from there. So it's 306.54. and the length I have is 1.7 meters. That's actually going in the wrong direction because I want it to go down here. So what I can do is within any fields in Business Center, you can apply addition and subtraction and multiplication to the figures there. So I've just hit minus 180 to spin that direction around. If I wanted a particular point ID, I can key it in. And if I wanted a specific feature code here also, I could key it in. Or just select and choose a particular feature code from the library at the time as well. I might put in station. After that, I'm going to enter a new line, and we'll see down here, it started to populate the lines coming through. So next, I'll go another line by azimuth, and this time, going 9001, and all the way down to 335.48. Now, if I know what these codes are and I want to just progress through, I could type these things in as needed. I'll just continue on using the buttons for now. Now what I'd like to do is key in a number of these other stations that are sitting on this Travis line. You can see they've been written as changes from this single point at 0, 0. So what I'll do in here is create a new start point, and I'm going to start from the same origin. And what I want is called Radial side shot. And this allows me just to apply multiple lines, but without actually traversing, just doing them as radiations from this singular point, which makes it a little bit easier. Have a look down here. That's placed in our first point. Apply another line. And we can just keep going like that. So I've continued here, and as you can see, I've keyed in a number of other surveys as well, and then started to key in some what might be title adoption boundaries if all of the survey evidence in the field stacks up. But this is an easy way of keying in all of your pre-existing survey information and performing calculations for cadastral surveys in a quick interface. Thanks for your time.